Hello, my name is Vibha Ravi and I'm sub-editor at Script and Pink Sheet at Informa Intelligence. Welcome to this episode of Coronavirus TV, where we are going to talk about vaccines. We have shared some information on this topic earlier, but today I'm going to put the spotlight on India. You might know Sanofi, Merck, GSK as some of the top vaccine producers in the world, which they are by value. Indian companies produce around 60% of the total vaccine production in the world by volumes. And in fact, they are a major supplier for immunization programs run by various governments and institutions like UNICEF and Gavi across the world. So it's not a surprise that Indian companies have also begun work on producing a vaccine against COVID-19. Three of the Indian companies we're going to talk about today use live attenuated or are taking the live attenuated vaccine route for developing a vaccine against COVID-19. And the reason is twofold. First is that these vaccines are the most effective. In fact, they produce longer immunity, it comes on earlier, and fewer booster shots are needed. The second reason is that Indian companies have substantial existing capacities to produce this kind of a vaccine. Serum Institute of India is the first company that started off, and it tied up with Codagenics Inc. to produce a live attenuated vaccine. The vaccine is already in preclinical trials, and once safety and efficacy of the vaccine has been established, Serum will begin manufacture by 2022. Serum is also taking another route where it is trying to see if a BCG vaccine can be repurposed to work against COVID-19. You might have seen media reports which have said that countries which have immunization programs using BCG vaccine have been less affected or have had fewer incidences of COVID-19. WHO has said this has not been proven yet, and it is in fact conducting 2 trials to verify this. The second company we are going to talk about today is Indian Immunologicals Limited. This is a state-run company and it has tied up with Australia's Griffith University, which will deliver a single-dose vaccine that is expected to be ready in the next 18 to 24 months. What is interesting is that Indian Immunologicals Limited is known to undercut private companies by a substantial margin in the past. And it will be interesting to see the pricing on this one once it comes to market. Both these vaccines will be administered intramuscularly. So Bharat Biotech, the third company, has an advantage because it is introducing an intranasal vaccine. It has a partnership with the University of Wisconsin-Madison and Flugen for this vaccine. What they're going to do is introduce genetic sequences from SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, into a partial M2 gene deleted flu vaccine developed by Flugen. The human trials of this vaccine are expected to start anywhere between August to October, and the vaccine is expected to have get into phase 3 trials by December 2020. There's only one other company in the world that is working on a intranasal vaccine. So this is one to watch out for. Another Indian company that has started work is Cadila Healthcare, and it has labs in India and Italy working on this vaccine. It is taking a 2-pronged approach. It will be first developing a live attenuated recombinant vaccine, and it is also trying to develop a DNA vaccine where plasmid DNA will be introduced into host cells, where it expresses into viral proteins and thus provides immunity to the human body. The human trials of this drug are also expected to start because preclinical trials have already started, and the company has set itself a target of developing a vaccine by the end of this year, which is by December 2020 or the beginning of 2021. You might notice that Indian companies are not taking the mRNA route, which certain other global companies have. The reason is that to date, a single mRNA vaccine has not been commercialized yet. While companies like Moderna and CureVac are taking this route, and they are likely to succeed going by what experts say, Indian companies perhaps don't want to take this risk. It's always advantageous to have several companies taking different routes and using different techniques to work on a vaccine, because the likelihood of a successful vaccine coming out increases. But the problem with developing a vaccine against a pandemic is that by the time a cure comes out, the incidences of the disease itself might have subsided. But as CEPI CEO Richard Hatchett says, it would still be very advantageous. And that is seen because the recent vaccines being developed against COVID-19 do use some of the technologies or some of the platforms that were used for earlier diseases, for vaccines developed against other diseases. For example, the recent tie-up between Sanofi and GSK uses the platform developed by Sanofi for an influenza vaccine, and GSK is using adjuvant technology that was developed for an H1N1 vaccine. We think even if the vaccines do come out a bit late, the earliest estimate is being said by around 12 months, nevertheless, it will still be a win, because we might have something that would be useful against COVID-19 and might even be used for other diseases later. That's it from me. I do hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to having you again with us for the next episode. Thank you.